Wait, where are you then? You're at Kenny's place?
Yeah, I'm at Kenny's.
I'm in Guelph.
You're in Guelph?
Yeah, we're like probably a few blocks from each other. Paisley and Edinburgh.
Oh my god, that's like
That's
very
amazing.
close to one another. We're at where the beer store is in Edinburgh. I don't know, forest in Edinburgh, water in Edinburgh, where the bridge is on Edinburgh, near Wellington in Edinburgh. Edinburgh.
I know, you said Edinburgh like 12 times. What the fuck was that?
It's my chair needs a little bit of oil.
I thought it was like a duck that was like dying.
Can you guys hear my chair squeaking through the...
Yeah.
It wakes me up at night.
Ken just sitting at his computer, furiously masturbating. Emma just wakes up like, not again!
That's exactly what I meant.
And we found the intro to this session.
Right into the RP. Let's keep this rolling, boys.
Let's
Oh,
stop
yeah, I'm like
procrastinating
fucking.
now,
I
boys.
am into
Come
the
on.
RP. Like, let's fucking throw out some RP. I don't even want to roll dice. I want to RP.
Tom re-enters and he's all decked out to go hunting, night stalking turkeys.
Walking through the woods in the dark.
Gentlemen, in our absence, it appears that the hilltribe bandit raids have risen. The mountain tribes have become a problem. They have been crossing the countryside of the Highmount lands and attacking our villages. However, they're not killing their victims. They are instead severing their ears from those that they defeat. Maester Gregory has identified them as the Black Ears from the Mountain of the Moon. Nomadic in nature and take the weapons and armor of the fallen. Lord Alden has tasked me with putting together a scouting party to go out and uncover the reasons why the mountain tribes have begun to attack our lands. We must stop them at any cost. You are here because I have chosen you for the scouting party. And then I'll motion to Tom Stone, then Quinn, and then Edric.
I guess the turkeys will have to wait then.
What's Quinn equipped with?
Oh, you'll find out.
Do
Well, I'm sure
does
he'd be
he
able to see your belt.
Can I
No.
see what she's equipped with?
Well, you can see a stiletto.
And how old is Quinn?
I'm 17.
Old enough.
And,
For Game of Thrones.
also have a double curved bow.
Oh, right
which
on.
is-
You noticed that Tom Stone has a double curved bow?
I did notice.
Oh, I noticed.
Oh, I noticed.
Uncle, I am absolutely honored that you would pick us to join you on this mission. And whatever I can support you with, please let me know.
It is time you start taking a more active role in the upholding of the law in the Highmount lands, young Edric.
I want to take Uncle just not far away from the other group so they can't hear, but kind of have a one-on-one conversation with him.
Uncle, I have noticed that Father has been implying that a lot lately. When we were looking for the Valerian blade, he told me to take the lead. Time and time again, he keeps mentioning that he's not going to be around forever. Have you heard anything from him that he plans to hand something over to me, or pass the sword, so to say? I'm starting to get an eerie feeling, to be honest.
He has not mentioned anything to me, young Edric. However, you, as the heir to House Highmount, should be prepared to take leadership at any moment.
What if I'm not ready, Uncle? I mean, your training over the years, I feel like I'm ready by blade, but by mind?
Experience is a hard teacher, Edric, as it gives the test first and the lesson later. The reason you are coming with us now is to administer the Lord's justice. Though Alden has tasked me with this, ultimately it is you who are in command of this scouting party. It is time that you go out and show your face to the small folk, as you will be the one that they worship once you become Lord of this house. You must show them that you are worthy of their respect and their worship.
Edric will look at the floor for a moment, but then realizing that he needs to command presence more, he will lift his chest out and look his uncle in the eye.
And that, Uncle, is a task I do not take lightly. I will command this party, and I will command my people, as I have been destined to do since my birth.
Then let us see what the young lord is made of.
If we get in a hand-to-hand combat, let's make sure that the lessons you taught me in my youth are worthwhile. And he'll kind of hit his uncle on the shoulder and laugh.
Which is why I'm accompanying you and not just Tom Stone. And I will nudge Edric in the shoulder as well.
Shall we? And with that, Edric will turn back to the group.
These hilltribe savages, they are entering our lands, and they are what? Removing the ears of our people. What do they call them? Black ears? Those savages. Let us go find them out. Let's take one of them alive and find out exactly what they're up to. Because our house has not maintained its status from years of just sitting back. We will make them pay.
For what they've done!
We will make them pay
For what they've done! John Luke, pull up the damn shit!
No!
No!
Okay, let me finish off that last part for the recording. From the top, boys.
And our house has not maintained its status from years of falling back. So we will make them pay for this. Join me, brothers, in bringing justice to House Highmount.
Tom Stone kind of sarcastically claps and then turns and goes to collect his horse.
If you sarcastically raise a drink and clap at me one more time, I'm gonna fucking put a goddamn sword in your belly. I will basically give myself a golf clap as well and continue to my horse.
Kind of try to meet eyes with Edric and smile and nod.
Edric will look at Quinn, and he already has a strong distrust of anybody that's not
White.
of his basically white, to be honest, yeah. But question her motives, because he does question why she's really here. Like, he doesn't understand her purpose, that Uncle Cyrus is taking care of her, but why is she coming on this mission? That is what's going on in my mind.
So Tom Stone kind of goes over to Cyrus and asks, "Is it the plan for us to go to the last place they've raided and try to pick up the trail?"
Yes, that would be the best course of action. However, for future leadership decisions, you will look towards the young Lord Edric V.
All right, so then I approach Edric and I ask, "I'll bring my girl, but do you want me to bring any more of the hounds to try to sniff out these hill folk?"
Yes, Tom, I would like you to bring some of those hounds. You have trained them well, and I believe they will support us in our mission.
All right, so Tom will also bring an additional 2 more hounds from, I think there's like 6 hounds in the house or whatever. So that means he'll have to be doing animal handling to make sure that they stay on task.
Just going on a manhunt with the dogs.
Yeah, they can track. They're awesome.
Ian, you mentioned that I could take some of the house guards. However, I will not, knowing that stealth and surprise is of the utmost importance. I'll just take the 3 of us.
Alright, so it's the 4 of you, Howler, and the 2 other hounds. So you all wind up at the hamlet where you last heard of the bandit raid. There is a small farmstead, and seeing your party approach, the one farmer kind of heads towards the door and stands in front of it. What could I help you with?
Does the man have both his ears?
Roll awareness with notice.
7. But surely to see a man's ears.
I will also roll.
Cyrus is very aware of his ears, both of them.
And my roll for the overall obedience right now of the 2 other dogs is a 19. By the way, Emma, you noticed that the dog that I've been referring to as Howler only has 1 ear, and it's a Dornish sandhound.
Interesting.
Farmer looks at you, he says, "What could I help you with?"
I will look at Edric to take point on this one.
Hello, sir. My name is Edric Highmount V. This is my search party, and we've heard word of some bandits rummaging these parts, looking for ears, actually. The black ears. Have you heard of them?
Black ears, yeah. Everyone in these parts has heard of them. What's matter to you?
I don't need to tell you what my reasoning is. All I need is for you to tell me where I can find them.
Roll persuasion, Ryder.
Can I assist in his persuasion? I'll take a step forward on my horse and put a hand on my sword and assist to intimidate. 7.
Mine was at 10.
Yeah, so you didn't really need Tom to back you up, but his presence helped, and the farmer looks at you and says, "I understand, I'm sorry. I did not mean to speak out of turn, my lord.
I appreciate your apology.
There is someone here who could perhaps lead you to the place where it's believed these people are, sir, my lord."
Well, wonderful. Who can I speak to?
I'll go see if he's apt to speak. He enters the homestead. A short while later, he returns out the door, his arms over the shoulder of a small boy who is clearly missing both his ears. The boy appears to be about 5 years of age.
By
Hello,
the
sir.
gods, Cyrus will utter.
Hello, son. Edric will get down on one knee and put his hand on the young boy's shoulders.
The boy retreats behind his father's legs and kind of holds onto his pants, peering out from behind.
Son, you can trust me.
I'm gonna reach into my belt and take out like some bread, some hard bread.
Here, for your belly.
Sheepishly, he'll take it, give a nibble.
My young son, I'm so sorry what happened to you. I can only imagine the pain that you've been through. Who did this to you?
Still hiding behind his father's legs, he says, "Bad men done it.
No doubt about that. Who are these bad men?
They're the big smelly men from the hills."
Where did they do this?
He just points over towards the mountains.
Okay, and then with that, I'm gonna stand back up, look to his father.
Do you know where he had this done to him?
I wish I could say so. He wandered back into the hamlet here. His ears bleeding something fierce. We nearly lost him, my lord.
How many were with you when you were attacked, boy?
From behind his father's legs again, speak. It was just me, sir. I was looking for frogs. Bad man took me and hurt me. I came back to my father. He helped me.
How many of them?
Lots and lots. Maybe even 2 of them.
Where is it you like to hunt for your frogs, boy?
I could show you if you'd like.
Tom seems amiable to that. He looks over at the other guys.
Cyrus will nod.
The boy's father will look at Cyrus. I'm not letting my boy go anywhere alone no more. I'll go with you if you need me to.
You are in the presence of the son and brother of Lord Alden Highmount. I will make sure he returns home all right. You have my word, sir.
Suit yourself, my lord, but I'd still like to go with you. Let me boy lead you there, and then let me take him right home. He's suffered enough.
Father deserves to be with his son.
We will protect your son, with no doubt, but as a father, I respect that you want to see your son be safe, so you're welcome to join us.
Many thanks, my lord. Your father has always been kind to us. He holds a special place to many of us. We love him, we do. He's a good lord, a kind lord, a just lord.
Please, if you could show us the way.
He kneels down to his son and says, "All right now, you've got to show him where you went and found your frogs, and then we'll go right home." The boy nods to his father and begins leading you off into the woods towards the hills.
I will motion to Tom Stone to create a parameter, act as a scout for the party.
Good man, Cyrus.
Oh, and you guys hear me refer to the other 2 dogs as being named Stannis and Renly, and one's more effeminate than the other.
I was waiting for that. Well, the boy leads you and everybody else up through the hills, following a creek where there's a small pond. He heads up around the area and you can find a large cave in the thicket. From just in the cave, you can see a light shining, so it seems to indicate that somebody does appear to be inhabiting this cave.
Can I do awareness to try to see if I see any tracks and goings-ons outside of it?
Sure. Yeah, so you can see several tracks leading in and out of the cave, both leading in, dragging things, leading out in a hurry. Several tracks. A lot of them appear fresh.
So I'll motion for Tom Stone to go in with his hounds first. I will continue to stay at the right-hand side of Edric, and I will motion for Quinn to stay behind, perhaps with her bow at the ready.
Yeah, I have my bow out.
As far as lighting is concerned, it's -1D on a marksmanship test to shoot into dimly lit areas, and it's -2D to shoot into pitch black. So I think Tom Stone's leading the way.
I tie up my horse, but I take 2 torches out of my pack, and I offer one to Cyrus if he wants a torch too, and I'm going to light at least one up.
I will take one.
I also have a torch.
Well, you can't wield a torch if you're wielding a bow, Emma.
I know that, but for anyone who has a spare hand...
I use my flint and steel to light up both torches, and I hand one to you, Cyrus, and I pull out my bastard sword, whistle for the dogs to stay close, and I'll enter the cave first, holding a torch in one hand and my bastard sword in the other.
I will accept the torch in my left hand, and I will draw my Bravosi blade in my right hand, and I will follow Edric.
I'll
be
following
albeit like his
second
right-hand
to Tom, and then I'll have my uncle behind me.
This is a cave in a mountain, Ian?
Yeah, very rocky cave in a mountain. Some water dripping down from the ceiling. Rather dark and mildewy.
Is it lit? Are there actual torches on the side of the wall?
Yeah, you can see that somebody has actually put scones with torches in the walls.
Alright, we come to a little fork, and I take a closer look at the tracks that we're following.
I will also roll on awareness.
Jesus. There is very fresh tracks. Definitely put there within the last couple days, for sure. If not earlier today. So, Tom, as you kind of advance down the hallway, you can see a figure staring at you in the middle of the hallway. Looking stunned, he turns and looks at you. And
does he appear to be hillfolkish? Does he have, like, bones in his face and shit? Is he dirty?
Is he a dirty boy?
Filthy commoner!
Hey, I'm not Edric.
Yeah, he's got a couple ears, shriveled black on a necklace around his neck, so you can presume that he's one of the black ears.
Are we taking initiative?
Yes, take initiative.
I will move up and put myself in between the bandit and Edric.
Next, it is the hounds and Howler.
The dogs and Howler would delay their action precedent for my order.
So you're next.
Does he seem alone, and what is the bandit wielding?
He is wielding a battle axe, and he is the only bandit that you can see.
All right, I whistle to instigate the hounds to attack, and I throw my torch at the bandit. All right, so 20 marksmanship, throwing a thing at him. No bonus dice. My animal handling for the dogs, other than Howler, is currently 12.
You whip your torch at him, and it strikes him in the face. He lets out a shout, and it snuffs out and falls to the ground as he clutches his wound. So you deal 3 damage.
Both of those dogs get a bite on him.
All right, so roll a 3d.
Twice?
Once for each dog that's there. 13 and 10. Basically, you throw the torch at this guy, it hits him in the face, and as he falls back, clutching his eyes and shouting out, the 2 dogs run forward and leap on him, tearing at his throat, and he starts gurgling as he falls to the ground.
Heh. And then I just approach with my lesser, and everyone else can go.
Alright, Quinn, you're next.
The dogs are like demolishing this guy.
They're tearing him apart.
I'm gonna aim for like the most critical point. Try to do a kill shot.
You're gonna try to shoot past the dogs and put him out of his misery?
Yeah, I can't imagine being eaten alive by dogs is pleasant death.
You launch your bow. It kind of just whizzes past the dogs as they're lunging at him and sort of hits him in the abdomen, but it's not a kill shot. He's just still gurgling and
just
kicking.
making it worse.
Yeah, and finally you see his hands just fall limp to the floor, and clearly the dogs have killed him, but you were just an arrow in the gut as he was dying.
I pull the ear necklace from him and I toss it to the side so he doesn't get to take that to the beyond. Do we hear any commotion of hill folk?
You don't hear anything. You hear the guy kind of like as the dogs tear at his throat. That's about it.
And he has an axe on him. Does he seem to have anything else on him, like a coin purse?
No, that's it.
I whistle for the dogs to stop their frenzy, and Howler stops immediately. My command is at 15 to make the other dogs stop.
It's now Edric's turn.
I'm going to move up to Tom. I'll look at Tom and give him a nod with my weapon drawn.
Tom kind of nods over to the east, that there's like another one there.
Okay, then Edric will look to the east, ready to charge in at his next opportunity, and that's the end of my turn.
All right, Cyrus, back to you.
So I'll move 4, and then I kind of see another bandit, so I will move 4 again.
Alright, I'm just gonna move up behind Tom Stone.
Alright, so I might as well walk up to this bandit and do a lesser attack to slice at him with my sword.
All right. Jesus.
That's a lot of 6s.
Tom Stone walks up the cavern and draws his bastard sword. He takes a mighty swipe, just about cleaves the bandit in half. He starts gurgling and spits blood out and falls to the cavern floor, motionless.
Getting shit done. Seems like paths go that way and that way.
Can my dogs do an awareness, Howler in particular, do an awareness to see if it smells any people that are around? Or hears, obviously.
The first Howler is kind of sniffing around, just going like, the fuck's going on, guys? Like, just sniffing the ground, and the other 2 immediately start barking, indicating that maybe there's something down here.
Alright, so then Howler will track the scent that they've found, and I'll do survival track for Howler.
They're leading you down this tunnel.
Alright, I say this way. The other 2 dogs might wander a bit ahead, but Howler will always, keep in my sight.
Hear the dogs start barking and growling, and they lunge, and you hear a shout. So everybody roll initiative again. Cyrus, you go first.
And I will do a double move.
Tom?
I will sheath my sword and pull out my bow, and that will be my move.
Quinn?
I am going to negotiate with this bandit. You do not need to attack us. We're simply here to try to reason and come to some compromise with your people. Really like it to not end in bloodshed.
So roll a persuasion check with bonus dice for charm.
Up to. Alright, we're good.
4, 4, 12, 15, plus 2, which is 17. You call out, pleading with the bandit and saying, oh, please, like, gosh!
I believe I gave my dialogue, Ian.
And he doesn't hear a word of it. He just is so intent on killing the people trying to harm him that he doesn't hear a single word you're saying.
Alright, I tried. Now I can kill him.
The bandit's turn then. The one bandit, seeing the snarling dog leaping toward him, he thrashes out at the dog with his battle axe, dealing 3 damage.
Alright, the dog whimpers.
The bandit then begins to fall back. The dog's next.
Alright, so Howler stays with me, but the other 2 dogs run up and bite him, especially the one that is really pissed that it just got hurt.
The 2 dogs run forward into the cave, snarling as they leap at the bandit, begin to tear out his throat. The bandit slumps to the cave wall and perishes.
Tom and his dogs just soloing the entire fucking dungeon.
Edric?
So I will move ahead in front of the dogs. As I pass by my uncle, I'm going to touch him on the back. I'm going to look him in the eyes and say, "This is fun, Uncle. I see the purpose of all this training you gave me over the years. For House Highmount." And with that, I'll lift the blade to my side and be ready to strike anything that comes my way, but I'll just be one square in front of my uncle.
We roll initiative. Alright, so it starts with Cyrus.
I took my movement to get to the front line there. Seeing that other bandit, I'll move another 4. I'm gonna look back at Tom Stone and say, "Call back your hounds, bastard. It's time we handle this like men."
Alright, so next goes to Quinn.
I'm gonna follow Cyrus's lead and sort of charge up behind him.
The hound.
Upon his request, I'll whistle for them to stay back.
The 2 hounds kind of whimper and go, "Woo!" and then fall back towards you looking for some sort of reward.
They've had plenty of blood.
Edric.
I'm going to maintain defensive posture. I'm going to look my uncle in the eyes. Even though I know that Cyrus has been giving me the right of way, so to say, and he wants to see me lead this battle, still I'm unsure. Like, this is the first real situation I've been in with Cyrus, and he's taught me for years as to how to defend myself, but I'm still unsure. So I'm going to look at Cyrus and give him eyes like, "I need your direction here." And with that, I'm going to end my turn.
Alright, well, I'm gonna look at Edric, then I'm gonna point my blade towards this guy while I focus my attention on this guy.
Tom, you're up.
Me and Howler just run up. I have my bow out and just alert, and Howler's behind me.
The bandit in between both Cyrus and Edric takes a swing at you, but just can't get through your armor, and it kind of just clinks off ineffectively. The other bandit then moves up one and will attack Edric with both hands on his weapon. You raise your buckler in defense. It doesn't do any good. Cracks off your buckler and digs into your armor. Deals 3 damage to you. Back to a new roll. So that starts with Cyrus.
Seeing my nephew get hit, I'm going to take a side step, effectively putting myself in between Edric and this guy. Then I'm going to make an attack at the guy who just hit Edric.
Jesus.
So, rolling that 26, Cyrus is basically going to parry the blow from the bandit that I was in close combat with, and I'm going to do a spinning flourish towards the guy who hit Ryder. I'm going to grab his arm as he stabs Edric, take my Bravosi blade, and then I'm going to put it towards his neck, like spinning behind him, and then I'm going to drive my Bravosi blade into his neck.
You rolled a 26. You have successfully driven your sword through this guy's throat. Alright, Quinn.
I'm gonna move up to try to figure out what's going on in this hallway. Then I'm gonna shoot at the remaining bandit.
Okay, so he's got partial concealment, so he's in partial cover.
12.
Edric's going to turn behind him. "Tom and Brownskin, don't kill him. We need to take him back to father. He has the information we need."
As he says that, because I've already loosed it, I look at him kind of frozen, like he's too late, and like an understanding like, "I know what you're saying, but I wish you had said it like 5 seconds earlier."
You fire an arrow loose, and in spite of the fact that you have several of your allies in front of them, it just squeaks through without hitting anybody and buries itself in the bandit's shoulder. 5 damage.
And then as I see that it doesn't kill him, I kind of look at Edric and smile, kind of shrug my shoulders and nod a little bit, as in like, "The gods have smiled on us, this is what you wanted."
And Edric will note that.
The hounds next.
Alright, so hounds just come up to me to stay behind me. So then is it my go?
It's actually the bandits next.
Oh, okay.
So having been shot, the one bandit cries out in pain and lashes out at Cyrus, the nearest person available. This is with 2 hands. Your combat defense again?
16.
Yeah. He swings at you and you agilely just dart out of the way and his battle axe clashes to the ground. And now it's Tom Stone's turn.
Alright, so he's kind of hunched over a little bit to the side of Cyrus, so I try to shoot an arrow. It's a harder test, but I can like aim for a specific body part or something to not kill him.
Yep.
So I want to shoot him in his hands / like forearms that's holding his weapon to sort of make him drop his weapon and also fuck him up.
Are you sure?
You better not fucking kill him.
Yeah, roll your test, Taylor. Marksmanship with bows.
But if I shoot really well, it doesn't kill him, right? Because I'm aiming for something?
Yeah, exactly. That's minus 3.
So 17.
17. Agilely aiming your bow, you fire a shot through both your allies into the bandit's hands. Your arrow pierces his hands and his weapon falls to the ground. However, he had already been on the precipice of death, and as your arrow pierces his hands, his eyes roll to the back of his head and he sort of just falls to the ground unconscious.
He's alive.
For fuck's sakes, you had one job, Tom Stone.
He's alive, I disarmed him. Would you rather I left him beside you holding that axe?
And with that, Edric will turn around, look at Tom, raise his right hand up, and backhand across the
Can I do agility to catch his hand?
Yeah, both of you roll opposing agility tests. Quickness applies. Tom Stone, he gets first action.
Alright, so I just catch his hand and I say, "Don't touch me, boy." And I look very menacing from beneath my mask.
Then I suggest you don't disobey the orders of your superiors.
Going to push my way past Edric and say, "Bastard, you are talking to the future Lord of House Highmount. How dare you touch him?
How dare he try to strike me? Is that how he's going to be the future lord?
He has every right." And I will attempt to backhand the Tom Stone.
Alright, so agility, quickness.
Tom doesn't roll an opposed. He just stands there, like, firmly, not flinching except for when he gets hit. And then he'll just spit
I
blood out.
try to knock the mask off of the bastard's face.
Oh, alright. 18. You want to oppose that agility test? No, you've already said you're standing there taking it.
Yeah, I'm standing my ground. If my mask falls off, I'll try to catch it, but...
Cyrus lashes out at you and his hand strikes your mask. It doesn't come off, but it noticeably shifts and part of your mask slides up, revealing an eye with like a large scar.
Alright, I put my hand to my face to kind of like cover the scar on my face, almost embarrassed, and I put the mask on and I look up at him and I say,
Should I give the boy a free hit too?
and I turn to Edric and offer a cheek to him.
Mind your tongue, bastard.
Yeah, when he says bastard, I look over at Quinn, sympathetically, and I signal to Howler to not, like, bite their heads off.
I'll look into Quinn's eyes, deep. Let this be a lesson to you as well, brown skin. We give you the respect you deserve, but in times like this, you must obey orders.
I look at him, and I stare him straight in the eye and say, "I understand your position, my lord. I only ask for the respect that I deserve, but I do believe that you earn respect, and I truly believe I can earn mine."
And I'll look into Quinn's eyes.
I don't look away.
And that she's not looking away. You know, that's a rarity for Edric, that most people are quite intimidated by him because of his position. And to have someone from outside of his realm come in and maintain eye contact, he does respect that, and he's going to say, "Well said. Trust is earned. But at the same time," and with that, he's going to look into Tom Stone's eyes, "trust is also lost in an instant when they dissipate." That he's just going to walk one step away from Tom and stand there.
I continue to look at Edric as though he's still talking to me and say, "Of course, my lord. There is no higher honor than trust in one's subordinates."
And with that, Edric will look at Quinn and give her a nod, look back at Tom with a slight nod of the head, and look to Cyrus for his leadership.
I will look at Tom and step forward to take the place where Edric was standing. "So, bastard, what was it that brought you to House Highmount in the first place, if not to obey orders?"
To receive some coin and a place of rest for my expertise, like shooting the axe out of the hands of a man that's trying to attack you. You don't want my dogs to help, you don't want my help, I'll just stand back and wait for someone to cry out.
Let me make it very clear, Tom, that you are not to lay a hand on the heir to House Highmount ever again. What do you think Lord Alden would say to this?
Do you want my answer true?
I respect the truth, Tom Stone.
You know your brother better than I. If your brother was here, I don't think he would have been very impressed with Edric trying to lay his hands on me. I might have been reprimanded for sure, but I wouldn't have gotten the worst of it.
I assure you, bastard, that you have not received the worst of it. If you had, you would not draw breath.
Alright, Tom just looks unimpressed. Doesn't say anything. He just notches another arrow and is ready to round the corner. And keeps Howler back, who's just growling, pissed.
Alright, so what's your next course of action? While you were talking, the bandit that you shot has since passed away.
Spending so much time discussing things without actually dealing with anything.
Alright, is it free movement, or are we still in initiative order? That goes nearby?
Free movement.
So I'll enter this cavernous space, and me and my dogs will sniff around and be aware.
I will walk up to Edric, whisper something into his ear to calm him down, and then we will continue.
There's a large table. It's got some goblets on it, some like stale bread and shitty-looking food. There is a small fire burning that has an animal on a spit. Could be a rabbit, could be a large rat. You can't tell for sure. Aside from that, it's fairly nondescript. There's a torch burning in the wall.
What's the dog's name that you're traveling with now?
The one-eared dog is Howler. The other two are Renly and Stannis.
Are there any dispositions you have towards those dogs? Is there one that looks like it's leaving the others?
Yeah, the one with one ear I seem to show a particular affection to.
Howler?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
So is he like the alpha dog?
My personal cohort, and then in the packs as I train the kennel dog, I use it to teach the other dogs faster.
That's beast.
I feel you guys just plotting to fucking kill my dog or something. So which dog is your favorite dog? It's so times inside this little cove. Is there anything in this cove?
There is a corner that looks like it's been pissed in, and that's about it.
So that is their bathroom.
You find a lot of urine, but nothing else.
I collect urine.
Do the dogs pick up any scent?
Apart from urine? There was tracks heading down the other path too, so we can just head towards the other path.
Edric's going to be behind Quinn, and as he walks behind Quinn, he's going to put a hand on her back and slide his hand onto her lower back. And say, "What do you think about that, my lady?"
My lord, I'm not entirely sure how many women you've met from Dawn, and I'm just going to kind of give him a sly smile and move forward slightly closer to my father. Just sort of like in like a ha 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 ha.
Okay, so Edric will understand what you're doing.
Edric just touching his cousin.
Well, fair enough. Edric's gonna do what he's gonna do. So he'll, as she walks away, he'll ask her one more time. So, I haven't met very many people from Dawn, to be honest, cousin. Is this a normal occurrence for you?
There are many occurrences as these in Dawn, my lord. It is quite common, as you've said before, that Dornish people are quite hot-headed and strong-willed. So I'm much happy to be here in House Highmount.
I'd like to roll something to check her, how genuine she is when she says something. We roll against one another? I just get the feeling that she's just blowing smoke up my ass, to be honest.
Alright, Ryder, roll a awareness, I guess, with bonus dice for empathy. Alright, so Ryder, as far as you can tell, she's being genuine with you.
So with that, seeing an attractive woman be so, I don't know, just look at him and with the eyes that she has, and he's going to feel very accomplished by that and say, "You're right. You haven't seen anything like you have yet here, and you will see more." He'll kind of have a little bit of a jaunt in his step as he moves forward.
I'm just going to kind of give him a little, like, half smile and say, of course, my lord. I look forward to our further conversations.
I'm making a point to stay very close to Tom Stone.
Creepo.
Alright, so
Tom Stone doesn't say anything to Cyrus, he just gestures, like, which way.
I will motion to Edric.
I told myself at a very young age, in situations like this, that I'd always pick one way, and the one way I picked was right. So we'll go right.
Alright, you proceed to the right.
To be a dick.
Wait. I've had a few drinks, and Ken just called me out. I said the same thing last time, but the way was left. For continuity's sake, let's say left. So let me repeat that. At a very young age, I told myself I'd always pick a way, and the way is left. So when a guy has fucking 10 ounces of whiskey, you can only expect so much.
You know.
If anyone knows, you know.
You know. Alright, so the group carries on down the hallway. There are torches on the wall, and you can see moisture dripping down from the ceiling. Everything seems to be quiet.
Spooky.
I'll be right behind Tom, and I'll kind of tap him on the shoulder, see if he turns around.
Alright, I seem to perk up.
Tom, I know we don't know each other incredibly well, but I do expect that you always have House Highmount at the front of your mind. I did ask you earlier to not kill that man. And yet you did.
And yet I shot him in the hand. Unforeseen circumstances, my lord.
And that I do respect, Tom.
So then respect that I wouldn't intentionally disobey your orders.
Was it unforeseen circumstances?
To
Kill
the
the
end.
red bastard as well, Tom. And I will raise my voice a bit at that.
Tom, like, kind of looks back and forth, like, really inappropriate to be raising his voice.
Cyrus will raise one finger to his lips to motion for silence as we continue to creep forward.
Wandering down the quiet hallway, none of you really pay attention to anything around you. You round a bend and find a bandit standing in a doorway, his hands clenched tightly around his battle axe, waiting for something to come around the corner. The second one of you leaps into view, he gives a mighty shout and charges forward. It's a surprise round on Cyrus. What's your combat defense again, Ken?
16.
Yeah, so in spite of the fact that he has quite an advantage on you, you still manage to parry his attack, and his axe goes thudding to the ground. Combat now begins as normal. Initiative. So that's a 7 for Ryder, right? 21 for yourself.
So on my attack, I'm going to attempt a disarm as a greater action. If I succeed with at least 2 degrees, I disarm him. If I roll a critical failure, the opponent disarms me. So I get a 27 versus his passive fighting.
3 degrees of success.
Okay, so I disarm him, knocking his weapon to the ground, leaving him defenseless, and I will tell him to surrender.
Alright, Quinn.
I will motion to you, like, look at you, and then I'll look at his weapon. Like, if he goes to pick up his weapon, shoot him.
I'm gonna ready my bow, aim, but hold. And kind of give a slight nod to my father. I understand.
Ready for him to make a move.
Yeah.
Alright, the dogs.
The dogs will just clear the room, and I'm doing the same thing as Quinn. I'm pointing my arrow at this dude and also delaying an action.
Alright, Edric.
So Edric will move next to this guy, and then I'm going to grab him by the cloth on his chest and pull him towards me.
Make a grapple attack. Alright, you lunge forward. Neglecting to use your weapons, you punch the bandit in his face. It actually does 2 damage to him.
I'm going to pull him from the cloth on his chest.
That's enough! If you value your life, you will bow down.
So you've grabbed the bandit and you're yelling at him, and he sort of tries to break free of your grasp. So roll a fighting test, Ryder, with a bonus in brawling if you have it. Alright, so you grab the bandit and start shouting at him, and he kind of just like, and pushes aside your hand and starts running back. Yep, so Cyrus, you're up first.
Alright, so I'm gonna run in there, and seeing a couple other bandits as I pass through, I'm gonna make an attack to hopefully kill this bandit.
Alright.
So that's 4 damage per degree of success.
Yep. You spin around the corner and strike it with your Bravosi blade. The blade pierces through his ribcage and into his heart. And as he just kind of looks at you stunned, he puts a hand up to his chest and feels the blood pouring out of the wound as he collapses to the floor. Quinn.
I'm gonna move up right behind my father. I'm gonna ask him for direction.
Okay, so given the tight space that we're in right now, I'll just motion for Quinn with her bow to shoot anything that comes into sight.
So I'm gonna shoot at the closest one to us.
He's slightly dimly lit, so it's a 1 die penalty to you.
Okay.
Yep, so that's a good roll. You let loose your bow, and the arrow flies true, and it pierces him right between the eyes. He falls down dead. You just see him slump over.
Fucking right he does.
Howler is up.
Alright, me and the dogs just move up. So I step out, and I'm kind of covering back and forth, but I leave room for other people to pass me. And the dogs are just staying behind in the hallway.
They're instructed not to help until I get new orders.
Release
That's
the
fine.
dogs, Tom!
Oh, alright. So then I whistle, and their delayed action, the dogs will go their movement and fuck things up.
So movement 8.
Alright, and Howler stays back. They'll both bite their respective guys.
Alright, so you roll that
Howler's not
test.
moving?
Howler's staying behind me, so Howler just goes to my side.
Okay, never mind.
So 3d6. So 6. So the one dog just kind of grabs hold of the bandit's arm and gives a bite, just dealing 3 damage. The other dog does a bit better, jumps into the bandit's arm and digs its teeth in. The bandit's next. The one bandit, as the dog jumps on him, he crashes down with his battle axe, and that just
is gonna
hits
get
the one
killed.
dog. These dogs have a fair bit of health.
Yeah, they have 9 each, which is pretty good for a dog.
The other bandit will do the same thing, attacking the dog just attacked him. The dog just dodges it. It kind of ducks off to the side, and his battle axe misses. The other bandit here will move up and attack this dog again.
Oh no.
He cracks into it pretty well and deals more damage to the dog.
Oh, it's fucked.
It's Edric now, and then reroll.
RP wise, this is what's gonna happen. Edric's gonna run down the hall. He's gonna get to where his uncle is. And then seeing everything that's down the hall, he is going to have a moment of cowardice and see Tom in front of him and see his uncle Cyrus in front of him. And he is going to go back and end my turn there.
Ooh, interesting.
Alright, reroll. Tom got a 15 on Howler.
Tom got 11 himself.
In spite of the slightly poor roll on his part, we go again with Cyrus.
I will rush in and attack this guy.
Alright.
Is that a critical?
That's a critical. You spin around the corner and charge towards him, and your blade pierces right through the center of his body. You can feel it kind of cracking through bones, and he just spurts up a fair amount of blood and slumps down. Howler is up.
Delay Howler to after me.
Alright, Gwen.
Tom looks at Quinn with her arrows, and he says,
Let one fly, girl.
Oh, I was on mute. I'm gonna aim to the bandit just to the right
Joker.
of my father.
All right.
13.
That is a hit. It is also a critical hit.
So 7.
Jesus. You launch your arrow true as it could be, and it flies over Tom Stone's shoulder, and he can just hear go past his ear as it embeds itself right into this guy's eye, and he just falls to the ground as well. Next, with a mighty bellow from the back of the cavern, you hear a booming voice echo, "This shall not pass! My name is Chake of Black Ears! You shall all perish!" And a large bandit runs into battle, takes a swing at Cyrus. So he takes a swing at Cyrus, but it doesn't do much good, and it kind of just thwacks down next to him as Cyrus deftly dodges it. Next, the one bandit down here will attack the dog. He swings his battle axe down, and he just lobs the dog's head off.
Yep.
And whichever dog this was, Renly or Stannis, he just
That's
falls to
Renly.
the ground with a whimper. This bandit will attack Stannis. Much the same, he brings his axe down on Stannis. With Whimper, the dog is hit with the axe. This other bandit will move down and also attack Stannis.
Dog's just tanking for everybody.
Excuse me. Cyrus is fucking right out there on the front line fighting the leader.
That's true.
So basically, one guy nicks the dog with his battle axe. The other guy comes down from the back of the cave and crashes his battle axe right into the dog's back. The dog just lets out a shrill whimper as its back is snapped in half and it falls down dead. Now it's Tom Stone's turn.
Jesus. Well, I'll shoot the bandit that killed Renly that's on the far side of Cyrus. Right past Cyrus's head and hopefully to the head of the bandit. 16.
Yep, that's still a hit. Whizzing past Cyrus's head, your arrow flies true and pegs into the bandit, so you deal 8 damage to him. Since he was already wounded, that's kind of just enough. He falls to the ground.
Alright, fuck him. Alright, Cyrus, you see an arrow whiz past your head and murder one of the guys that you're in combat with.
Edric.
Alright, hearing what's going on down the hallway, I can't completely see it, but I'm putting it together in my mind. Regretfully thinking about the cowardice that I showed just a few moments ago, I'm going to think about the training that my uncle's given me over the years. What my father's told me will be mine, and now I have to earn it. And with that, I will storm down the hallway, and when I get there, I will stand beside my uncle. Uncle, I am here! I will raise up my sword and be ready to defend my uncle and attack the bearded bandit.
Alright, since the other dogs are dead, that means it's reroll. So I got 20 for you, Ken, and 8 for Ryder.
So I'm going to make an attack against this bandit here, and then after that I'm going to move adjacent to the bandit leader here.
Alright.
Is that a critical?
That would be a critical. Again, you pierce right through the center of his body and he falls down dead. Tom?
They should have him in hand, but I'll shoot him in the hand and hopefully not kill him by shooting him in the hand.
So you're aiming for his weapon?
Yeah, trying to disarm him by, nailing him in the hand.
Alright.
So that's 21.
Miraculously, your arrow flies through and it just pings the top of his battle axe, knocking it from his hands.
Tom looks back at Emma, the other person with the bow, and sort of, shrugs at himself, pleased. That's how it's done.
Then goes to Howler.
And Howler looks like it's gonna lunge forward, but I put my hand back and I say, easy girl. And Howler just stays back.
Alright, there is one bandit left. He moves down quickly and will attack Edric.
Is the life of your dog worth more than Lord Edric's?
Out of nowhere, around the corner, the bandit comes down and strikes you with his battle axe, and it deflects off your hard leather armor.
And with that, as a free action, I'm going to look behind me. And, I'm just going to notice Tom Stone, holding the neck of his dog in the position that his dog could have run to.
Alright, the bandit leader then, he shouts out, "Oh, you think you've beaten me?" He picks up his battle axe off the ground and moves over. Quinn.
I yell out, Edric! And I shoot at the bandit near him.
Alright, just missed getting a critical on that. But you hit him nonetheless, dealing normal damage.
5.
Your arrow lodges into his breast. He kind of stumbles back and looks down at his wound and then resolves himself and gets ready to continue fighting. Edric.
Okay, so again, as Edric already looked behind him and saw Tom holding the extra skin of his dog.
Not holding it, just gesturing.
Okay, I'll see the guy in front of me, and then I'll see Tom, and understand that I am not the one that should be fighting this savage one-on-one. And I will move, and then I will take a swipe at him with my longsword.
At the bandit?
At the bandit, yep.
All right, so that'll do it. Infuriated, you kind of spin around and drive your sword right through his heart, and he lets out a gasp as it pierces his breastbone, and he falls to the ground.
As I feel my blade pierce his chest bone under my breath, for House Highmount, and I'll drive it even deeper into his chest.
All right, there are no bandits left.
Reroll?
Yep, Cyrus, you're up first.
I'm going to disarm the bandit leader.
All right. Yep, you managed to successfully disarm him. His battle axe falls to the ground. Play then proceeds to Howler.
So the guy doesn't have any weapons?
His weapon is on the ground.
I move my hand away from waving Howler back, and Howler runs up and bites the guy in his ass.
All right, so 3d6, 9. Howler goes to bite the guy, but he just pities it, and Howler's jaws miss. Quinn goes first.
Ready my bow, I'm gonna aim, and I'm gonna say, Edric, what is your call?
I'm gonna look behind me at Quinn. I'm gonna say, if you want to prove yourself, then show what you can do.
Roll a persuasion test with bonus dice for reputation. So 40-61.
For me?
No, for Ryder.
Okay. As soon as he says that, can I give him the slightest of nods and just let an arrow fly?
Oh, absolutely.
Then this is my roll for that.
What's your will, Emma?
3.
Alright, so he gives that speech, and you think a bit higher of him now, and you let your arrow fly. That just digs into him. You fly your arrow past Tom Stone's shoulder, and it's just enough to kind of scrape the bandit's neck. He takes 3 damage. Now goes to Jake. Reaching down to the ground and grabbing his battle axe, the man with the lengthy necklace of black ears gives a terrifying shout and reaches with both hands his battle axe above his head and brings it down squarely on your shoulder, dealing 8 damage less your armor rating.
Yeah, so I have 1 HP left.
So that passes to Tom Stone then.
Tom Stone just takes aim and fires. Gotta take this guy down.
Alright.
Getting rid of 2 of those 2s, so that's a 19.
That is a hit. Alright, so that's 8 damage less the armor rating. Your arrow flies through and digs into the soft of his back, and he kind of lets out a shout, ah, as he takes damage. You can see blood trickling down his shoulder. He's clearly injured. Reroll.
And Tom says, Edric, get back! Showing surprising concern for the boy.
So Cyrus, you're up first.
I'm going to attack him, although I'm not going to try to kill him. I'm just going to try and, cripple him.
Yep, you defeat him. That's just enough to kind of fell him in combat. You choose his fate.
So what are the choices?
You can, cut his fucking hand off if you want.
You can mutilate him. He could be unconscious. You could kill him. He could take the black.
I will cut off his, whatever his dominant hand is. I'll take that.
Not his ears?
So, maim him. I'll take off his hand, because I want to take him in for questioning.
Alright. So he takes a swing at you, and just as he kind of goes to bring his axe down, you duck your blade underneath it and parry it backwards. As you do so, you deftly move your blade and slice off his right hand. He lets out a shriek and falls to the ground bleeding, holding his now maimed stump as his hand lies motionless on the floor. Ah! My hand, you bastards!
I take a step up to him and grab my arrow that's in its back and rip it out to retrieve it.
He dies.
What?
No, I'm just fucking with you. As you pull the arrow out, lets out another shriek and spits a fair amount of blood on the floor and says, "You savages!"
And then Tom puts the arrow away and he takes out his whip and holds it menacingly, but then he just starts to bind the guy's arm behind his back.
That's fine.
And he'll pat him down while I'm doing it for coin or hidden weapons like knives and shit.
He's got a buckler attached to his offhand.
Yeah, I'll just toss that to the floor.
Aside from that, he just had the battle axe. He was not holding any valuables on him at all. He was dressed in simple, soft leather armor, nothing worth mentioning.
Alright, so his arms are bound, and I kick him back to the ground and stand ready.
He lands with a thud in the dirt and kind of spits out some of the dust.
Okay, so Tom Stone suggests that they should look around before they head out.
We should take a look around, see if we can recover any of the small folks' goods. We can't give that poor boy his ears back, but we might find some of what's been taken.
And Tom and Howler will assist in the search, and Tom will take at least a couple of the torches from the walls to replace the torches that he's lost.
Yep, and I'll assume you guys search it thoroughly, and I will let you know in chat.
Is there anything of interest in this little caverny thing?
I mean, there's like a treasure chest. It's got 100 stags in it.
Like pennies. pennies.
Yeah, I will open the chest, take the 100 stag, and put it on my belt pouch.
Alright, we now have 100 stags.
Alright, I rip off the cloaks of a couple of the bandits, and I wrap up the 2 dead dogs, and I put them over my shoulder, ready to carry them back.
Alright, you have the 2 dead dogs. The master of kennels you turned out to be. Just ripping on Taylor. Good game, guys.
Good game.
Great session, Ian.
Yeah, Ian, that was beast. Same with you, Tom Stone.
Such a rivalry already.
Have a good one, guys.
Good man.
Thanks again, Ian.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright, later Ian, brown girl.